everyone, what is new? My name is Angie, and today I'm just going to read my commonapp personal essay. I'm going to Cornell this fall, and I am a creative writer and journalist. I was thinking if my tips in my essay can help any of you get into your dream school, then that would be pretty nice. So I'm just going to read the essay first, and then I'll give a few tips, like breaking down what I did. Kyosuke, Yasume, Kyotsuke, Rei. At attention, at ease, at attention, bow. The words still the air, ringing through the karate dojo as the master begins our kata. Sunsu kata, hajime. Kata, sunsu. I echo his words, bow, and take the first step, left foot forward. Katas are choreographed, each and every move predetermined, ordered. Organized is my state of comfort, attempting to partition time as I have always done, sitting on blue throwing mats and filling out a planner under white lights, my fingers stained with ink, leaving imprints months ahead, a reminder. I'll look at the tattered pages and think of who I was, what I've done, the challenges I've yet to meet, the spear hands and side blocks I have yet to throw. At attention, tension, chin up, swift reaction, locked to set my mind on action. Planned yet fluid, every repetition of a kata is a draft redone. This time, my strike is too high. I have always pursued upwards momentum, typing a new chapter before the traditional weapons class, finding inspiration in the mirrors for a newspaper article, earning respect from the little green belts I teach, leaving stains on my hands like wounded tattoos as I take every challenge and tear it by the throat. A switch flips in my brain when I bow entering the dojo, telling me to put my body into every move, a story, my story, written with each punch and high block in unison with the black belts at my side. I am empowered by their powerful presence, fighting to harness it, to lay my words bare to the world and say, here I am, this is me. At ease, easy, the relaxed torque of my body before a hard strike, a balance struck with tension. Ease has never come easy to me, but when it does, the world seems to stop. Listening to the master's stories, giving a ribbon lilac to a friend, watching a beloved student receive her next belt. Unplanned deviations in which the planner is forgotten and the ink starts to scar, and I begin to feel human. Ease is a state I have come to cherish, the thought that this memory will be forever. Ease is that with which I put my body behind each elbow strike, a valuable relaxation before muscle pulls taut, before my pen clicks and the words sprawl before me. At attention once more, my hand returning to block, a bold ki-ai in reigning unison, the announcement of presence I conquer nerves to make. A powerful kata declares, I am here, I am indomitable, I am me. I have always fought to embody it, to make it mine through the nuance of my strikes, because who am I, if not the amalgamation of ink stains like memories on my hands? Scribbles of ideas for open mics and workshops populating my notebook, self-defense techniques reanalyzed with a mentor, a friend, lists of exercises for the children to do. Even 100 more stories, more punches, wouldn't be enough. Bow, take the curtain call, an open stance acknowledging a battle unfinished. For me, it's the switch flipped, a desire to try again, to make it sharper, straining for the non-existent limit. Even so, the imprints on my planner tell another story, telling me I am no longer the child who was afraid of change. Choreographed as a kata is, its structure is not rigid. In embodying my kata, I too have become fluid, taking unexpected opportunities and snapping them into victories. Order did not ordain the value of a free mind, of unexpected joy. Order is a planner I fill out and rip apart, the ink soaking into my palms, staining my belt black. As I push it, my kata will push me too to the limit, driven to hold the stars, to love more people, say the words, and begin again. So that's the essay. This took me a couple drafts, but I know from the start that I wanted to incorporate my top two activities, which are karate and writing, into my essay. It would not be a complete work talking about me if I didn't talk about those two things, because they are literally my whole life. So I decided to ground the essay in karate, where I'm doing a kata, or a choreographed sequence of moves at the dojo. So I keep referring back to that physical setting, so the essay doesn't feel like a loose conglomerate of random ideas and pictures. That's important. You don't want your essay to just be a scattering of ideas, unless that's intentional for stylistic reasons. And then I would compare my perseverance, my drive, my motivation and passion for karate to my drive and my passion for writing. The sort of contrast also between organization and staying in your comfort zone versus breaking out of that comfort zone to pursue greater opportunities that make all the difficulty in getting there worth it. Okay, now time for some tips from a creative writing girly whose essay got her into her dream school. So number one, the hook definitely matters. Just like in any essay, you need a compelling beginning that grips your reader's attention, especially for college app readers, because they've probably read 5,000 other essays so far, and you are not going to have a unique essay or a unique story. Your readers probably read something similar. But that doesn't mean that you can't grab your reader's attention and wake them up. And a good way to do this would be to start in the middle of the action. For example, if you're telling a story of a particular memory or event, and authors use the same approach when starting a novel. The way that I did my hook was I started off with kyosuke, yasume, kyosuke, rei, which are 4 Japanese words that you say at the start of every kata. I then proudly translated it, and I used those 4 words as the main structure of my essay. I structured it around attention, ease, attention, bow. Okay, number 2, your essay subject. You have to be very careful when choosing what to write about, because there are way too many essays out there about overcoming injuries or illness, particularly sports injuries, as well as about how the death of a loved one impacted you, or how a natural disaster impacted you. There's just too many narratives about overcoming adversity with that same mode of this was really difficult for me and here's how it set me back, but then I eventually overcame it and came out of it a better person. Even if that event was very important to you, and I know it is for a lot of you, so I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm trivializing it, but your reader's probably gonna be really bored reading this narrative over and over and over, because I can guarantee you, if you write an essay about that, there are probably 5 other essays that your readers read before yours that day that have the same story. You do not want to blend in with the crowd like that. That is no good. So you're gonna have to get a bit more creative than that, unless you're super lucky and you just have really unique life experiences and opportunities, in which case I'm jealous. Even if you're not super into writing like I am, and you don't think you have the penmanship for writing something intense and prosy and creative writing-esque, you can still do what I did and take something seemingly mundane, in my case doing a kata, and twist it using metaphors and imagery into a compelling narrative about you. For example, when I was still writing my essay, I remember reading an example online about a girl who was an artist, and she took the act of painting on a canvas, on an easel, and she was discussing these aspects of her character and relevant memories regarding those character aspects on each brush stroke and each color that she was using. So stuff like that. You want to also highlight something you love. For example, one of your extracurriculars, you can dive deeper into it and show how passionate you really are about it, how much it means to you, more than just an accolade. And that kind of loops into the third thing, which is probably like one of the most important things about your personal essay, which is humanizing yourself. The whole point of your essay is to humanize yourself and prove that you are a living human being who is more than a list of accolades and numbers and grades. Your reader wants to admit a person who is going to be good for their college. So that means someone who actually cares about what they're doing, beyond just getting the title. Someone who's not boring, who's not going to end up with some mediocre office job in the future because they don't have the drive to do something more. They want someone with spirit, and you have to show you have that spirit in your essay. Because where else are you going to do it? The rest of your application is just numbers, stats, cold hard facts. This is where you can inject warmth and personality into you. So you have to stand out from the crowd as much as you can in a good way. So traits like being driven, persevering, passionate, that's important, about the things you do, and being genuinely hardworking and responsible and capable of doing the tasks you're given. These are all great traits that honestly not too many high schoolers have, unfortunately, which I learned at my high school because there were a lot of people who really just cared about I want to get into this good college, so I'm going to do this and this and this and this to look good for that college. So they would pick up officer positions because they wanted to put the title on the application, and then they wouldn't do the work because they didn't actually care about this club they were doing. And honestly, it pissed me off really bad. And if any of you watching this video are like that, honestly, you are the problem. Fix it. It's not fun. And last but not least, remember, have fun with your essay. And I know that sounds cheesy, but if you don't enjoy writing and reading over your essay when you're revising it, then your reader is going to be bored out of their brain. Write multiple drafts. Draft multiple ideas. It's okay to make 5 million drafts because that's what all writers do. Maybe you don't do that in class, but for example, for authors, when writing the novel, you're going to go through 4, maybe more rough drafts before you get something that you like. So just keep brainstorming until you get an idea that really hits. You get a story that you genuinely want to tell. Remember, this doesn't have to be an academic essay. This is a story about yourself. And make it into that creative project, that creative story with you as the main character, and you will be fine. So yeah, that's all I really had to say. Good luck if you're currently working on your college apps, and I will see you later.